This week,
this
wow,
week?
my favorite bug. Well, bees are always my favorite bug. They're the bug that I love the most, but they're also the bug that drives me crazy. Um, and that's because even after 43 years, I'm still learning. I listen to a lot of beekeeping podcasts. There's a good one out of the
Okay.
University of Florida.
Go,
And
go Gators. It's
yeah,
stamped.
there you go. So anyway, I listened to all these, and one of the beekeepers was saying that, every year is a new year. Every year you think you've got it dialed in, that you're going to do exactly, awesome things, and every year it's changing. And
Yeah.
like this year, it's been so warm all through February until now, and now we got this really cold snap and all this rain, and my hives were doing awesome, and I decided to treat for varroa mite with a product called shoot, name just escaped me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
they're
it's
called brain farts, Nick. We get them
formic
as we get older.
formic formic acid,
Formic
formic
acid. There you go.
pro, and there's two rates. They come in these little like wet pads, and you open them up and you lay them across the frames. And by utilizing the high rate, you penetrate the capped brood and you can kill the varroa mite as they're breeding inside the cells. But when
Nice.
you use the low rate, you only kill the varroa mite that are outside the cap cells. But when you use the high rate, it's terrible on the bees. It's
Mm.
like the treatment is worse than the pest. So I actually emailed the company after I did the treatment because it was just so devastating, tens of dead bees out front, and I said, "What do you recommend? The low rate or the high rate?" Because the other thing that's a factor is how warm it is. You got to use it between below 85 degrees. And in the summertime where I am, it's over 85 degrees almost every day. So I thought, well, I'm golden. It's way chill. It's only getting up like 75 degrees. So I use the high rate. Boy, like I said, I'll never do it again. I'll always use the low rate moving forward. So
All right.
Nice.
Thank
so
you for
bees are
that
my
lesson on
favorite
bees.
insect without a doubt.
New World screwworm is my favorite bug this week. I got to learn a lot about it.
Have you ever seen a case?
No, I have not, Nick, and I'll tell you,
I
I
have.
never thought Oh, you have? I never thought I would ever. I never
When,
thought it would be
what's the
something I'd have to
scientific name for the
deal with.
screwworm?
It's coming. It's going to cross the border any day now, Adam. Get
No, I said
ready.
Well,
what's
it
the
was
scientific name
here
for the
back
screwworm?
in the 70s. It was here because when I told you we raised all kinds of animals, we actually had a screwworm in the back of one of the cows that we raised, and
Oh,
it's like this huge
So is
hole,
so is it like a
because it.
botfly? Is it like a botfly larva?
yeah, comes up
Yes.
out of there,
Well, and
and it's
California,
it's
as Nick was
ugly.
saying, California was the original, within the original extent of the New World screwworm, and then the sterile flies got the New World
The sterile male
screwworm
stages.
back.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was like I'm thinking 1963. I could be wrong. And so I never thought we'd see it in our lifetime, and now it's knocking right at the border, likely to cross into Texas first. But for those of us in Southern California, it's just it is the only fly that feeds actually on living human tissue. And unfortunately, as Adam was just saying, well, the New World screwworm, which feeds on live human tissue, and then what we have here in Southern California, the secondary screwworm, they look almost identical. And so when the New World screwworm comes here, the public's going to be very confused and scared because we
I'm not
see
scared. All right, wait a minute. Are they disease vectoring?
what they could do is they can actually burrow into
Right,
human
like a
skin. So
botfly.
like imagine
Yeah.
you're at like now you're at a nursing home and there's a fly in the room. Or
Yeah.
they don't have to just live in people. They can also
Wait a
live
minute.
in
The fly,
wildlife.
not the
The
fly itself.
larvae.
We're talking about the larval stage. Yeah, like a
Right, but the
botfly.
fly would
I've
come
been wanting to host a botfly forever, so this is perfect.
well it will it's a bad news kind of thing. And so you can see online how the United States is preparing for the crossing of the screwworm into across the southern border. And, we're hoping that it doesn't cross the southern border in California first,
Okay,
that it
Laura,
will
we're
go
gonna
through
save this
Texas.
for like a little like what do you call like a side off episode? So we'll do a
Yeah, so
side
I'll
off
just
episode
say
on the
back to
screwworm.
what Nick's saying, this is like kind of what Nick's saying is you think you know a lot about the bugs where you live and you can always have some favorite bugs, but then all of a sudden there's a new bug in town. And I love researching things and learning about how to handle it. And so, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to address it here at the Vector Control District, but it's coming.
I am excited to do a spin-off episode on the screwworm, everybody listening. So, my favorite bug this week, Nick,
I can't wait.
I can't believe you've seen one, Nick. That's so cool.
Wait a minute. So, Nick, just to confirm, have you seen the actual adult, or did you see one in a host?
It was in the back of a cow.
Okay.
And it was
Gotcha.
coming up out of the live tissue.
Like
and the cow was perfectly
yeah.
fine. I mean, at the time, I had no idea what it was other than it was a fly larva. And I don't even remember how we treated it. I think it was a topical thing that put over the top.
I mean, pop that sucker out, put some antibiotic ointment, throw something on it.
Cow
and you're
lived.
done.
We ended up eating the cow down the road, but
Oh, poor Sally or Johnny, whichever one it is. Sorry.
first rule of raising animals, Adam, is you don't name what you eat.
No, Nick, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I can't.
Okay, Adam, let's.
Nick brought up a memory for me with goats, right? So goat lice are super cool. They're Trichodectes. That's the genus. I don't remember the species, but just lice in general to me are always fascinating because there's a thing called Harrison's rule. So especially in birds, Harrison's rule is the larger the host, the larger the louse. Right? And so you get like these huge like condors that are like 6 foot, like tall, and the lice are like an inch long off the condors, which is like super cool. So it's just like lice have just always. What?
How common were lice in Florida?
I grew up on a farm. So literally my backstory, which I'll tell real quick, is that when I grew up on a farm, we had turkeys and chickens, and my dad would tag the turkeys, right? So they wouldn't, if they left, we'd know where they were or whatever, that kind of stuff. So I remember when he would take the turkeys off his shirt and all the lice would be crawling on his shirt. So I'd be like, what's that? What's that? What's that? That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was me as a kid. So, I mean, I was literally, when I say grew up on the farm, since I was born.
Yeah. So I raised 2 turkeys a year for several years. One was named Christmas and one was named Easter. Or
Thanksgiving? I was about to say Thanksgiving.
And I could never tell which one was which until Thanksgiving came around, and whoever weighed more became Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh.